9 a.m., November 23rd, 2020. Wilson County Commissioners Court is now in session. We'll have the Lord's Prayer led by our County Clerk, Eva Martinez.
Our Father,
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Commissioner Wiley. Okay, Commissioner Wiley is supposed to be teleconferencing in. I haven't got information from him back.
he's trying to log on. He's having some technical difficulties.
Okay. Evidently there's technical difficulties. Well, while we're waiting on Commissioner Wiley to get to the conference in, we're going to go ahead with public comments.
I have none at this time, Judge.
Nothing?
Nothing called in either.
Okay, so certificates of completion.
Yes, I
Yes,
put one there.
we do have, okay, Criminal Justice Information Service Security Awareness Training. This is to certify that John Holcomb has successfully completed Level 4 Security Awareness Certification 11/10/2020. And the expiration date is 11/10/2022. And that's it?
Yes, sir. That
Thank
is
you.
it. Thank you.
I have finally made it.
Oh, good. We have Commissioner Wiley teleconference in. Okay. Now, moving right along to agenda item number 5, Richard L. Jackson County Judge. Information on upgrade of FM 1344 from, says US 97 to the Karnes County line. And if you got some information on that, Leanne.
Okay, TxDOT requested a letter of support from the judge. They wanted to upgrade the functional classification of 1344 from a minor collector to a major collector. They feel they can justify that because of the enterprise facility, and then there's that EOG facility on County Road 247. And their purpose in submitting for the upgrade is they would then have access to federal funds to do any projects on that stretch of the road, as opposed to having to use their state funds. So a letter was sent, and the current projects that they're looking at, was not provided a timeline. The current projects they were looking at was a rehab project and a safety project on the stretch from 541 to County Road 209.
Okay.
So, but we don't have any idea, how long before anything like that would be done, because it would all hinge on if that upgrade of the classification is approved.
Okay, so
Anyway, that's,
they wanted this and they had it already done and dated, so I already have sent the letter of support in. This is just informational, let everybody know that hopefully we'll get some good out of it.
There's a lot of truck traffic,
Yes.
oh yeah.
especially south.
And
And they were getting a letter from Karnes County too, since 1344 they're getting Karnes.
yes. And it's gonna happen whether we move it or not, so. Okay, let's move on to agenda item number 6. Richard L. Jackson County Judge discuss and take action on interlocal agreement between Regional Public Defender's Office, Local Government Corporation, and Wilson County, Texas. Okay, this is the regional public defender contract that we do with Lubbock County every year. It pays for the attorneys if we have a capital murder case, or it could be a capital case with the death penalty. I have mixed emotions on it. It still costs Atascosa County right at $1 million, and they had this public defender's office hired. The public defender's office, to me, has, what they showed, it cost us $100,000 for a plea last year, or a year before that, whatever it was, I'm not sure, to use that office. It pays for the attorneys, but it does not pay for the expenses, and the attorneys, it seems like they just try to run the expenses up. And I'd like some other input on this, because if we don't go with it and we have a capital case, and it's for the death penalty, it's going to cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars anyway. But do we pay the public defender and let them represent us, or do we have, and we do not have any attorneys in our local area. We would have to go to San Antonio or some other metropolitan area to find an attorney that's certified in capital death penalty cases. But I'm skeptical. I heard, and this is hearsay, but I'm saying it, that they made the comment one time in Atascosa County when that deal with they break the county to try to keep the person from going to the death penalty. I disagree with that. I mean, like I said, it's hearsay, but I heard it. And I don't agree with that. Why are we hiring somebody to try to break us? But, okay, if we don't have them, it's going to cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars just for attorney's fees, not including expenses.
What's the cost of the interlocal agreement?
$8,700 this year. It varies from year to year. There's multiple counties on it, and what they do is, I guess, the expenses from the year before, or however much they had to pay the attorneys from the year before, is what goes by. And this year, I want to say it was like 87. It's been as much as $13,000 for us one time, and $11,000.
What would be the champion? What would be the cost if we didn't have that?
We don't know. That's the deal.
They pay for all the attorney fees.
They pay for the attorney fees. We still have to pay, and that's another thing that really irks me is I cannot find out what they're spending this money on. They will not even give me. And I called up there many times and argued with them. I said, "This is our taxpayer money. Where is it going?" And they said, "We can't tell you." You know, I want to see some receipts. I want to see what, are these people coming down here eating steaks and charging it to us, or?
Can we put language in the agreement to change
Yes,
that?
yes, and they can say, no, we're not gonna do it, but I've never seen a situation like that where detailed billing records were
Yeah.
kept.
Yeah,
So I don't know why they would say that. So I think we need to tell them, if you're not gonna tell us, let us see the bills, we're not gonna do it.
You're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't.
You're right.
I guess the question is, and I don't know if you know it, but what's the worst case scenario if we don't do it?
We don't know what it would cost us. Okay, here ours is $8,726. Atascosa's this year's is, when I don't know why it's so much more, $18,000.
Probably because they have a big case.
Because they had a case and they're trying to I don't know. But it cost them quite a bit.
I think in today's political climate, with lots of people vocalizing their distaste for the death penalty, chances are if we did get one, it would go as far as it needed to. So attorney's expenses, I know back in the day, $350 to $450 an hour was a good defense attorney's rate. I don't know what they're charging now.
Let me see.
Well, normally a public defender charges less, you know.
I'm sure it's not any less.
Well, on a capital case, so I don't know.
They
what
still
they-
would.
Yeah, and this is just for
They have-
capital cases.
Okay, here we go. And this is in case we withdraw. It's $150 an hour for first chair, $125 for second chair, $60 an hour for mitigation specialist, and $50 an hour for, and that does not seem like what I read when I was reading the contract that we had when we were paying for this plea that we got here. I want to say it was a whole lot more than that. I'd have to go back and get it if we can find out where.
You're referring to the capital murder case?
We had a capital murder case
Right.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
We can find the receipts on that.
that's what I was
'Cause
wondering,
it-
is how that came into play.
Judge, I would suggest we table this decision and let Catherine revise the contract or the agreement to see if they would stipulate to providing the expenses that they would be billing us.
I'm good for that, or,
I mean, $8,700 in the event we do have a capital case is very inexpensive compared to what they
it's very
will
expensive
bill.
for the attorneys, but then again, it does not keep a rein on the attorneys from spending money on everything they can spend it on.
Well, and that's what, capital cases, they're gonna hire experts, they're gonna hire investigators.
Well, see, they've got their own investigator and their own mitigation specialist,
Yeah.
but if they help, because I do remember one thing, it took $2,500 to $5,000 to get grandma and grandpa from out here in the McCoy area or wherever to town to do a deposition. That's an expensive deposition.
Yeah.
I mean, that was what it cost for the deposition, or
For
what it
just,
cost?
just for grandma and grandpa, and they probably had no idea at all, but, you know, they were just,
But did that include the deposition, the court reporter and all
that
that? or-
included the court, I'm sure, unless they had that on there, and I don't know if we had to buy the court reporter, because we've got
Yeah,
a court
we
reporter.
would, I'm sure, but
It's already paid for.
I'd also be interested in seeing the numbers that the auditor has, or is available to what we paid the last time.
I want to say it was, and this is just going off my memory, for first chair, it was $250. And that may even be incorrect on the low side.
Yeah, it seems low to me.
But, and here's the deal, we don't pay that. They pay that. But we get a receipt. We pay the expenses that these people incur. That's all we pay. And like I said, it cost, for that one capital case 4 years ago for Atascosa County, it cost Atascosa County almost $1 million in expenses.
Well, that's probably a lot cheaper than everything. 8,700 is probably a fairly cheap insurance, so to speak, if you have one of these. But I agree with Commissioner Hyatt that it would be interesting to see if Catherine could come up with something that they would agree with, that would give us a little more information.
I'm good with that.
Is there a time limit?
Can-
Well, I tell you what, if it does time limit us out, then we done made our decision. We'll go without it.
Well, I would be surprised, it's probably December the 31st would be the time, but I don't know that. I doubt that it's November the 30th. So I would think we could at least have until, the next quarter of December to make a decision. I would hope.
I
They
think we
signed
could-
their part on June the
We
twenty-second.
could talk to the state bar and see if that would be a requirement for them to do that.
To,
Provide itemized
yes.
statement of the
Yeah.
expenses.
They adopted on June twenty-second. I guess then they sent it out to all of the counties.
Well, I've done lots of appointed cases in district and county court, and I've always had to give detailed
Oh, yeah.
records. I mean, to the cent. So, yeah, let me look at it and see why, you know, there's got to be a reason they did agree to that to begin with.
There's no deadline on that,
I didn't find it just reading right quick, but it will take me a little while to find it.
Hey, can I just get a copy afterwards? And,
Here, you can have this one right now.
well, I may have it on my desk.
Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion, we table it until, Catherine can get some information about, the billing expenses